this rage inside of me that I just can't wait to unleash. I'm invincible, I'm unstoppable.
All right, hi everyone, and welcome to the official Body Spartan podcast. I am the founder of Body Spartan, Gabe Tuft, and I am joined by my two
Were you about to call me a whore?
I was about to call you a whore.
You're about to call me a whore.
My two cohorts.
Your two co-hosts, Gabe.
I like
if you would.
cohorts.
Or, you know, what everyone else likes to call me, their favorite ginger. Thank you very much. I'm here as well.
He is a whore, but...
So the
Which I am a
favorite
whore.
ginger is Howard Perry, brand ambassador. We're also joined by Priscilla Tuft, my lovely wife and vice president, co-founder of Body Spartan.
Hello, Body Spartan Nation.
I just don't think I'm ready for them to know me on a first-name basis. That's serious in
So
a
would you prefer
relationship.
Mr. Perry?
I prefer Captain Redbeard.
Oh, yes, of course, Captain Redbeard. So, all right, guys. So, as always, we are bringing you the best in everything fitness, bodybuilding, motivation. And when we say motivation, we're talking about not just fitness and gym motivation, because there's plenty of that to go around. But we're trying to take that beyond. We are trying to take that to the entire life motivation thing.
Overall life motivation.
Where you are in your life, how to advance, how to up level, as Priscilla likes to say.
And truthfully, that is what fitness is. It is physical fitness, but emotional, spiritual, financial fitness as well.
Yeah.
There's so many different types of fitness.
So there's so many types of fitness. So real quick update, guys. This past month, Genesis just went live with a brand new updated dashboard. Which, we pre-programmed this thing, or I'm sorry, we programmed this back, gosh, what was it? It was in December of last year for Unleashed.
Yes.
When it first came out, and we created this whole dashboard where basically your workouts are, they're all separated by the day. There's daily content. You have a body fat tracker, a body weight tracker, body measurement tracker. Everything gets graphed so you can see where it is day by day. It's amazing. It's mobile friendly, and it's setting us up for our mobile app launch, which is the end of July, early August. So we got that whole new thing coming out.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about that,
You
dude.
should be.
It's going to change the game.
The entire
Super
game.
accessible.
No, the entire game, bro. Game changer.
Game changer.
And to include or to expand on that subject, we are using the exact same dashboard for all of our projects and our programs that are coming up. So Priscilla's program, which is called
Revolution. Get ready for it. It's going to be on the same exact platform, which is going to make it easy for you to follow this program.
Yeah. And then Howard's working on...
And right behind her, guys, I know the program you've all been waiting for, Vortex. Yes, it's a spiral workout of insane superset, drop set, time under tension madness.
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
What do we call it? It's functional training, basically.
It's functional training.
Yeah, for people that don't want to just not be able to wipe their ass like you and me.
And Howie's here to make the fun
Yeah.
be represented
Are
in
you,
functional training.
Whoa, is that your
The
way
fun in
of
function.
just giving me a title?
I just had to make it
Non-ass wiper?
cheesy.
Yeah, so
We actually
basically,
hire people to do that for us now?
for those, for those people that just want, the best way to put it is, there's two things. There's go muscles and there's show muscles. I want to give you both, okay? I don't want you to, just be a showboat. I also want you to be able to perform. So that's kind of my
A
whole...
performing showboat.
Oh
like
my
a
God!
steam
Yes,
engine.
like an unstoppable
Speedboat.
speedboat.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and in... I just totally just cut you off.
Go ahead, cut me off. Go ahead. I'm
In
I'm
other
rambling
news,
off. This is what
We
I
were
do.
kind of
yes.
lost in that for a second there anyway.
Well,
so
in other
it's
news,
okay.
we just got back from Vegas, guys. We spent 3 days out there, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the goal was to wrap in some business with pleasure, which I think we did pretty good. We did a workout there on Sunday. Well, actually, we worked out all the days, but we were planning on doing a fan workout on Sunday. I was all over the map with scheduling because we brought our 5-year-old daughter to Vegas.
And as many of you that reached out, we are truthfully looking for somebody who is a cut above the rest.
Yeah.
And if we don't see that, we apologize in advance because we are looking for the top-notch Body Spartans. We have someone coming tomorrow.
Yes, from Maryland, actually. Pete is coming from Maryland. But the
Back
thing
to
was
Vegas.
too. I'm back to Vegas though. It was great. We worked out all the days, and then I was trying, and Priscilla was trying to accommodate Mia, our 5-year-old daughter. And yes, we brought her to Vegas. We go a lot, and she's like, Daddy, when am I going to get to go? I'm like, okay, well, let's just go plan a family trip. We'll get a workout in while we're there. We'll be able to write everything off because that's what business is about. You just write this crap off. So we went. We had a great time. We had her up really late, and we were trying to get a workout in the daytime on Saturday, and I was like, you know what? I don't want her up till 11 o'clock at night because she's 5. So why don't we try to postpone everything to the evening? And it just got crazy. By the time she was down in bed and, just the Sunday thing came along, and I'm like, okay, so we missed the fan workout on Saturday. Let's try Sunday. And at I think it was like last 20 minutes, I'm like, hey, Howie, send out a snap. We're going to the gym right now. And he's like, So we had a ton of people that wanted to lift with us. And like Priscilla said, I'm super picky. Priscilla's super picky. Howie's really picky. Well, selective's a great term. I love that. We are very selective because I always give those rules when we start our workout.
Right.
Give me 110%. If you quit on me, there's the fucking door. Don't come back. That's the rules. And I don't want somebody that's going to quit.
Right.
We want somebody that's going to go the distance.
And have we ever had anyone that would fit that model, that wanted to quit? No, we've always, it's just that energy. It's like we get the right people.
Yeah.
Howie,
you need
ones
to eat that
quit,
mic, dude. I'm telling you right now.
You
keep turning to the side and I'm losing you.
Dude.
So turn your chair a little bit.
Okay. I'm gonna just turn. I'm gonna
look at me at
face
the
this
corner of
thing.
your eye. Or you know what you can do? Bring the mic forward and turn it just a little bit. Yeah.
You know what, dude? Let me just scoot this way. Okay, right there.
And then turn the mic so you
Okay,
eat it. Because you're looking at me the whole time with these really creepy eyes and I can't hear you.
I just can't stop looking at you.
Dude, that's so much better.
And I do want to touch on the whole quitter thing just because you guys brought it up. And it's not that we have people that are in there working out with us that quit. We've got people that never try.
Yeah.
That's the definition of a quitter. Do not quit on yourself. Keep pushing, and you might be the next person selected.
That's an excellent point, Priscilla.
Oh, did you really just... That's... Oh. Anyways, next.
Priscilla.
Next.
Are we just
Next.
going to ignore the fact
do
that
you want me- okay,
the
Gabriel.
other real
Gabriel.
reason was that we could
Your mother
not?
always calls you something weird.
Are we going to ignore the fact that the other
That
reason
Howard
was
was
we could
talking?
not get Mia
You're
off the
talking-
craps table?
That
I'm
was-
telling you, dude. She
I
was
know.
on a roll, man.
And she doesn't
Bring it
hold her
in.
liquor well.
And that was the thing. The weird. I got carded every table I sat at. She
Right.
walks up to the table immediately. High roller. Bring her up. Bring her up.
And high rollers actually moved to make room for her at the table. It's obnoxious.
I didn't get it. When I try to sit in, I get shooed away. Excuse me, sir. You need to back away from her.
Well, and you got carded everywhere you went this time too, right?
Everywhere, dude.
And they said it was because of why?
Because I was wearing a tank top, and I was like, well,
a
dude,
body
it's
Spartan tank top.
117 degrees
Yeah, it was like
outside.
120 when we got there.
You
and
know?
you look like a redheaded terrorist.
Well, why else?
And because of my gauges.
Your ear gauges?
Yeah, they said that it makes me look younger. And even one of the card people, they're like, yeah, when I had gauges, I looked younger too. And I was like, what?
What the fuck?
I was like,
Well, I guess that's kind of
look
a
at this
compliment.
beard. Does this look like an under 21-year-old prestige beard? No.
Nobody can
I was
grow
like,
that beard.
but
do
it
not-
does look like the Unabomber.
I told,
It
do not
might
put that
be
evil
creepy.
on me, Ricky Bobby.
The ginger.
Am I allowed to say these things?
Yeah, it's a
I'm
podcast. You
Sorry.
say whatever the hell you want.
It's like I always feel like saying those things in the airport.
And by the way,
like
we all know that I don't look like a Unabomber. You need to see
a redheaded
Gabe's,
Unabomber.
Oh, my.
Gabe's ID. Which on the next podcast, actually, Gabe, what you're going to do is you're going to
Let's snap it right now.
get rid
Where's
of
your
all the
wallet?
important information. You're
We'll
posting
just
your
use that
ID
as the
picture.
thumbnail.
You're putting your ID picture as the
We need to
thumbnail.
be
This.
snapping
So
a
let me
picture
tell the
of
story
that.
behind
Serious.
it. Guys, we will get to the supplements, but this is a great story. And part of the reason that we have this podcast that you guys can get some behind the scenes stuff with us. You can see our personalities and who we really are. So this driver's license picture got taken when I got my M license, my motorcycle license.
M
And
card.
My M card. And basically what had happened is I had kind of sort of maybe, I'm not sure, snuck down to the DMV one day. I told Priscilla I was going to go run some errands. And she's like, oh, cool. Yeah, that's great.
Lie detector said that was a lie.
And basically, I snuck down to the DMV, got there early, spent a couple hours there taking the permit test, standing in lines, with the whole intention of going down to the Harley shop and buying the hog, which I did that day. When I bought the hog, I got the permit, I passed, I went down there. I told the guy, I'm like, hey, I want this one. He's like, okay, cool. We spent all day in finance. It takes forever to get a freaking vehicle. I mean, you've been through it. We've all been through it. We know what it's like to sit there and sign a million papers.
Right.
I'm trying not to, totally laugh as I tell this, but I go, hey, you guys deliver? Oh, yeah, of course. And I literally live 2 minutes from the Harley shop, babe. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
I'll say
just,
that.
she's
It's down the
just
street.
shooting daggers at me
Definitely
right
down the
now.
street.
Daggers.
And I come home, and she goes, oh, hey, how was your day? I'm like, oh, it was great. It was fantastic. What'd you do? I was like, I just window shopped, blah, blah, blah. I made a bunch of bullshit. And I see her.
Which that was the truth. You were window shopping.
I mean, everything
and
I
also
said.
spinning.
I didn't lie. I just didn't include all the information, is what it was. And so I'm playing with Mia, and I see Priscilla at the sink, and she's scrubbing some dishes, and she specifically has a spatula in her hand.
But please, let me back up the bread truck just for a minute. We have been together 20 years, and we send each other these wacko telepathic messages.
Yeah.
So he's telling me midday,
No.
I'm going to buy a Harley. And I say, no, you're not. You're most definitely watching a movie. You are at the movie theater. You are not buying a Harley. And he said, yes, I am. So I ignore that
All
entire
telepathically.
telepathic conversation. But then I'm sitting there innocently washing dishes.
Yes, scrubbing
And
a
then-
spatula. She's
and then-
scrubbing a black spatula. This is how much this stuck in my mind.
Scrubbing it hard, really, really hard.
Very hard.
Was not happy.
Scrubbing
not
it
like that.
hard.
Ew.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Are you
Sorry.
making things weird?
I am making things weird. So she's scrubbing the spatula. All of a sudden, I see her looking out the window, and what's happening is the Harley truck is pulling up. She sees it, and she gets
And
this
it's
really
inching forward.
deer
it's
in the
inching. It is going slow, and it's going in intervals. So it's like dun dun, dun dun, dun dun dun. I'm like, what's coming? What's coming? Oh!
And eventually she just
No.
stops. And the spatula drops out of her hand, and she looks
it
at
was
me.
actually in slow motion that it fell down out of my hand.
She looks at me, and she just goes, "Your bike is here." Storms out of the kitchen. And so, but what happened is I ended up riding the bike around that day, and then when I got the license, Priscilla's like, okay, now you're legal. You know, I'll go for a ride with you. Let's just test drive it. And part of the reason is too, I had a sport bike back in the day, and I laid it down, and I never got on a bike after that. So, you know, she has some legitimate concerns about me riding a motorcycle. I'm not young and stupid. Well, I am stupid, but I'm not young anymore. I may do some stupid things, but. You know,
But
she had good concerns.
You
But
look
now,
like a Unabomber when you got the.
we're getting to the license
All
thing.
right.
But the point is, she, after the first ride, she's like, when can we go again?
Actually,
When can we
no.
go again?
There was a moment of demarcation when I saw that bike arrive, and I saw the look of glee on his face as he scampers out the door, twiddling his fingers and skipping.
I may have said, hee hee.
And I was faced with this moment. I'm like, am I going to steal his thunder? Am I going to steal his joy and be a jerk about it because I'm really, really hot over this? Or am I going to celebrate it with him so that he can enjoy his moment of celebration? So I went out there and I hassled the guys. I pretend like I'm mad. And I said, what are you doing? As they're unloading the bike off the...
Oh, yeah. You gave Jeff and the other guy just a
the
shitstorm.
5th degree. It was so funny because I was dying laughing,
Yeah.
but they weren't sure if I was serious or not.
Yeah,
It was good
totally.
material. But it turned out to be the right thing to do because I put forth that good energy, and now it is my number one favorite thing to do with my husband on, I mean, any day. Every day is kind of a weekend for us. But he got us these Bluetooth radios
No,
inside
the
our
comms.
helmets.
Yeah,
the comms,
so we got full conversations.
And so we will have board meetings
Yeah.
back and forth on the Harley on the way to the beach.
Yeah,
it's epic.
It's pretty
It's
cool.
our favorite thing to do
And all
together.
this to say, I had a beard not quite as epic as Howard at the time.
It was
pretty,
large, though.
It was pretty, yeah, it was
It was
large and in
very
charge.
large.
And if you guys have seen the 1,000 rep shoulder workout video that we put out there, or there's a Brian Cage video where we did pretty much a full upper body workout, I was rocking that beard back then. That's when I got the license, and after I took the motorcycle training, I walked in the DMV. You basically hand them a certificate. They go, okay, smile, say cheese. I'm like, oh, cool, no problem. Smiled and said cheese, and I got the license. About 2 weeks later, I look like fucking Osama bin Laden in the damn fucking picture. And
Legitimately.
I go to the airport, and I'm concerned every time I go. They're going to just be like, sir, you need to come with me right
See,
now.
and
Take
I think
off
that's
all your
where the-
clothes. We're going to perform cavity searches.
That's where the fine line of having a prestige beard like myself and having an Osama beard like Gabe had. I mean, it's like you're
beard.
either on one side or the other. You either have an amazing beard or you're Osama bin Laden.
I feel like the beard is today's like bicep or something like that. It's like everybody, how big can your beard be, and how much oil can you rub on it? Like you
It's a
go to
thing.
Walgreens.
It's a
and
thing.
What?
It's a thing.
It's totally a thing. It's like the black dress of beards. I don't know. Like everybody has to have just a big poofy, awkward.
Well, just think of all the amazing things that come with a beard. Like
you.
strength.
Oh yeah.
totally.
Like-
I was
It's
way
kind of
stronger
like
when
a
I had the
Samson
beard.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, does it
way
literally
stronger.
elevate your testosterone levels, or
Maybe it does, because I feel more
perfect
masculine.
Well, it's
That is
actually
a
one of these
perfect segue.
secret ingredients in T-Volve, just so you know.
Beard
we
hair.
literally once a week we trim Howard's beard and we grind it up and then we put it into T-Vol.
I thought we
So
were going
Which
to be
is
telling
the
people.
perfect segue into what we're talking about today, which are bodybuilding supplements and the trillion-dollar industry that is the supplement industry. A lot of people, when they're getting into bodybuilding and fitness, and they're the first thing to think of, yeah, you know, Howard, what is the this is great, guys, you're gonna love this. When somebody comes up to the gym and they're enamored with your physique, or they are looking at you, you know, kind of like, dude, the guy's huge, he's in shape. What's the first question they always ask you?
Every time, dude. What do you put in your beard?
What's the second question they ask you?
Oh, did they ask me a sec? Oh my God, your calves look amazing.
Son of a, you know,
and they always. Is this not what the answer you're looking for, Gabe? Because these are the things that are happening. You know, first it's my beard.
Well,
You know, I'll be doing arms, okay? And first it's my beard. Like, dude, your beard's amazing. I'm like, cool. Well, what about my arms? Because I'm doing arms. And they're like, dude, I want to know, what do you do to get your calves?
yeah.
I'm like, bro.
Well, if you put some work into your arms, maybe you wouldn't have that problem.
Gabe, I'm all about symmetry. I have the same size arms as I do calves, okay?
No,
18-inch arms, 18-inch calves. Okay, I'm not 20s. I give it. Hey, but I'm symmetrically proportionate for who I need to be.
I don't have a response for that.
You might have 20-plus inch arms, Gabe, but where are those calves?
17 and a half.
Yeah, symmetry. You look so
I'm
unproportionate.
also 6'3", pal. The first question that we get, and it's so common, is bruh.
What supplements are
What's,
you on?
oh my
Not
God.
even supplements. It's a very specific one. It's
Protein powder.
exactly.
Oh my God!
What
What
kind of protein
protein?
use, bro?
Is that the answer you were looking for?
That's
I tried
what
to
I was
ignore
looking
that
for.
one because that one is one of my most. It's the most frustrating questions because every time it's like, dude, what protein you take?
And the stigma that goes with it is that, you know, protein it's a necessary element of bodybuilding. It's the building block of muscle, and you need protein because you need to create protein synthesis in the body. But
And
protein
it is
powder
hard
basically,
to eat that much meat.
yeah, and you can't.
Oh, is this so?
I mean, you can. Oh, he went there.
Anyways, not that direction.
Not that direction.
Not what he said.
A long time
Thank
ago,
you.
when Arnold won the Olympia for the first time, his face got plastered on protein powder because Joe Weider signed him and blah, blah, blah. And since then, it's been this huge hit. Now, people believe that you have to just ingest huge amounts of protein powder to get massive. And also bulking powders, mass gainers, that sort of stuff. And it's just the biggest fallacy ever. The engineered, and here's the reason why, is that we do not have any clue what's in protein because supplements just simply aren't regulated by the FDA. It's FDA. There we go. They're not regulated by the FDA. And when they're not regulated by the FDA, nobody's checking the batch to see what's in it. And I don't have the study with me on this one, but it wasn't too long ago that I read a study. It's actually, I found it on Facebook. It linked to a peer-reviewed medical study, and you guys might call me crazy and just might balk at this for not having the data with me, but I need to talk about it. They basically took, I think, 3 or 4 of the top protein powders. One of them was GNC, and one of them was Optimum Nutrition, and it was, I think, at the university back in New Jersey that did it, where they checked the BCAA content way off from what they were all advertising. There were like 4 or 5 of them, and Optimum was one and GNC was another, but the BCAA content was way off. It was way less than what they were advertising. It was like some of them were like 50% less.
And this is one of the major reasons that it is so important that we make whole foods
Yes.
our medicine.
Yep. Real food, man. Real food. And that's something that we're all going to get into today. Supplements are great. They're an edge. They're a way to give you an edge. And you have to know the right ones to use, but there is no substitute for
Hard work.
Well, real food.
Real food.
Oh.
Real fucking food,
I was
guys.
thinking hard work.
Eat
You
some-
got to work.
well-
you can't just take a pill and
Well,
look the
here's
way
the
that you want
thing.
to
I mean, it does come down to real food because I don't care if you're the hardest worker in the room or not. If you are not fueling your body with the right nutrition, you're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You have a high performance car. You put regular gas in it. What's going to happen? Are you going to get the maximum performance out of that high performance car? No. You put high performance fuel in it because it requires it to get maximum performance. So when you think about your body in terms of real food versus supplements, you got to think of supplements. Sure, they add a little bit of boost, but that's like saying Chevron with Techron. They add something, okay, that's amazing. It adds to that. But again, real food is that high performance. So if you want a high performance body, you need to include more high performance foods, which is going to be real food in this term.
Yeah, and in the right macro content. And that's where everybody misses out is they use supplements as their main form of nutrition. They'll continue eating the way they have been. They'll eat 3 times a day, and you should be eating 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 like we do, depending on what your goals are. Obviously, I eat close to 9 times a day when I'm trying to bulk up, but at least 5 or 6 times a day, and it should all be real food. Now, I am guilty of using protein powder.
Of course.
I think we all are. We use them in a pinch, but mostly, I wouldn't even say once a day, maybe a couple times a week, I'll pop it in a post-workout shake. But the reason I do it is because I'm trying to replenish my glycogen stores, and I'll throw carbs in that protein shake. And if you ever try to mix oatmeal with milk, it tastes like shit. Or you take protein, or I'm sorry, not protein, but just carb powder and throw it in with something. It tastes like shit. So you add a little protein powder to make it taste better. And my theory is, if I'm going to be sucking down nutrients, I might as well get some protein with it anyway. So whether or not the protein content is right on, where you're really getting 50 grams of high quality protein in 2 scoops or 40 grams, whatever it is, or if you're getting 30 grams of regular protein, I'm still getting something, and I'm replenishing my glycogen store. So that's when I use protein powder. And I tend to use Optimum Nutrition, and they don't pay me to say this or anything like that. I've just been using them for years because I like the taste.
The flavor selection?
Yeah, they got a huge flavor selection, and it mixes up super easy in the shaker cups. Right. And I have yet to be able to find another company that does that.
The purpose is not to get your protein in, because you don't even know how much protein you are getting from that protein shake. It's kind of a crapshoot, since it's not regulated.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, you just got to think of it as, supplement, or, protein powder is more a substitute. And that's really all it is, and to kind of go back on what you were saying about putting it in like oatmeal or whatnot, I would do that all the time. If I couldn't get myself to some egg whites to get that source of protein that way, and you're thinking about something quicker, and we've all been there, again, like you said, a pinch, and we need to go. It's a lot quicker to throw a scoop of protein in your oatmeal or in your container, mix that up out the door versus, turning on the frying pan, trying to heat up some eggs.
Yeah, and my recommendation has always been with every one of the programs that I do, whether it's Unleashed or whether it's Genesis, and I'm sure, actually, I know for a fact that Priscilla and Howard both in their programs don't recommend any more than this. It's once a day for protein at the very, very most.
Right.
Your body can, and there is no, as I say, there's no scientific evidence to support this, but anecdotal evidence goes really far. Your body seems to only be able to support and assimilate so much engineered nutrition. Like you get stomach aches, you get cramps, you get all sorts of weird digestive stuff going on when you start substituting real food with protein
and ladies,
shakes.
You're gonna get cellulite. I'm sorry, but that is huge. It has so many chemicals. It is so toxic to your system. Drink liquid egg whites, for crying out loud. Pasteurized liquid egg whites. Lana's egg whites. She's awesome. Max egg whites. He rocks.
Or Kirkland egg whites from Costco,
which is our favorite. I mean,
sure,
easy, accessible.
Yeah, I don't have to go.
If you can find an organic route, take that.
Always. And that's a perfect example of what we're talking about when we're trying to say, hey, look, we're going beyond fitness here. This is for overall wellness, for your benefit.
But ladies, if you don't want ripples on your butt, you're gonna have to eat clean. That means no engineered protein, no protein bars. Protein bars is not food.
Or use butt cream.
Or you
can use my booty boost because it
You see what I did there? I did that.
You snuck that in there.
did that.
It takes squats to a whole new level.
But anyway, we'll get there. We'll surely get there.
Gabe is choking to death on water.
But ultimately, what we're saying, in terms of talking about protein, guys, is it's a great essential in,
Did you say essential?
No, it's a good essential additive to things. It's so sensual.
So
I mean, if you just the right amount of moisture and then you rub it all over your body, it's just
and that's the secret to beard oil.
So all this to say, guys, if you're going to spend your money on a supplement, I wouldn't waste it on protein powder. I would say take that $50, dump it into a pack of egg whites. You get them like the Kirkland ones at Costco. I think they're $12, Priscilla, or are they $20, something like that? Maybe $20, I think, you get 6 containers. That'll get you 12 shakes. If you're trying to get 50 grams of protein, it's half of a little tiny carton of the egg whites. You get 6 of them in a package.
For a little bit more, you can get them organic at Kirkland now.
Yeah, and that too. But the point is, so $50 for a thing of protein is what it costs, give or take. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. But if you buy 2 packages of these egg whites, now you got 24 servings. That's almost a month's worth right there. You're set, and you have real high quality protein from real food. Right. And what Howie and I do, and even Priscilla will do, you do an egg white shake with like almond butter and some spinach and some greens usually, right? That's how you do it?
And Shakeology.
Oh, Shakeology. Yeah.
That is a whole food, it's protein, but it's not going to have that higher protein levels that like a standard whey protein.
And for you guys that don't know, Shakeology is a Beachbody product that we discovered was like about 3 or 4 years ago. And again, we don't get paid to push this stuff. We don't to plug it or whatever. We just found out that it's really good for your body. It has a ton of superfoods in it. It has a ton of great
10 fruits and veggies.
Yeah. I mean,
exotic fruits.
It goes on and on.
Protein.
But the real reason we use it is because it tastes so damn fucking good.
And so when
The
we're on
chocolate is
keto and we need a
unreal.
low carb snack, we take a scoop of Shakeology, we mix it with coconut oil, or maybe a little bit of peanut butter, maybe a little almond butter. We stick it in the freezer and chow that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like it's all fat. It's got a little bit of carbs in it, but the carbs are from the plant-based nutrition that comes with it. It's not actually getting carbs from like potatoes or maltodextrin or anything like that. They're plant-based carbs. So if you're doing Genesis, this is a perfect alternative to that because we don't count grains when we're
But
doing
I just
that.
dump liquid egg whites in with it.
Yeah, and then when I do my shakes, and Howard's pretty similar too. We do a cup of egg whites. I'll do about a cup of raw Quaker oats or the generic oats that you can get at Costco or whatever, and basically a scoop of Shakeology and some ice, and I'm done. And it tastes like you're freaking cheating on your diet.
And the thing about egg whites is the protein's not. I just really hocked a loogie into this thing, but it'll survive.
It's brand new.
I know. Not
Can't
anymore,
take you
baby.
anywhere.
Broke it in.
Come on.
This is why
So
we
you-
can't have nice things, Priscilla. This is why we can't have
I
nice
know.
things.
Can I have your microphone, actually?
No.
So the thing about liquid egg whites put into a shake is that they're not the proteins are not being denatured when you're cooking them. You are getting every single gram of protein.
Except from the pasteurization process.
Except for the pasteurization.
And we really don't know.
We have never had problems eating raw organic eggs.
No, I
in our
haven't.
shakes.
And I've done it. Howard,
Many
did you do that
times.
with me that one time when I was out of egg whites? Did we crack? Did you were there when I cracked a bunch of raw, like
Dude, I didn't
Rocky,
even-
Three in and
Rocky
just
Balboa
chop
style?
I do that on a normal basis.
You do?
There's nothing wrong with it, and I'm perfectly fine.
You
Yeah.
just saw it done on TV once.
I mean, I've only gotten salmonella twice from doing that. So, but that's another thing. So you have to kind of take the good with the bad and recognize, yeah, it's pasteurized, and most eggs are pasteurized anyway, unless you get organic from your neighbor's yard, like we do sometimes. So you know
And
it's going to
that's
be
the best
denaturized
way
a
to go.
little bit. But egg whites, man, and just so you know, guys, the bioavailability of all proteins is based on an egg, which is supposedly the most bioavailable protein. So when it's rated against the standard they use, it's rated against the protein of an egg. So
and for crying out loud, how many times have you walked into the kitchen when your mom's making these chewy brownies and you could just smell them wafting through
brownies.
the house and it carries you in by your nose and you're like, Mom, can I lick the bowl? Remember that? Did you die?
No. Oh, yeah, we've all batter
You're
licked.
going to be okay with some
I
egg
still
whites.
batter lick to this day.
Yeah. I have been known to clean a. Brownies are my weakness.
Yes, I
Like
can change
talking
the
brownies.
Like, I purposely don't use all the mix so that I can lick the batter out of the bowl. No one else?
How many times has Howard have you come over to my place when I'm like, it's my refeed day, but I go way off the wagon and I'm just like, hey, dude, how's your keto going? How's it going, Howard?
How's the keto going?
We're not on the refeed
Howard, you gonna
together?
film your recipes? That's cool. Oh, let me open up the microwave to finish my recipe. Oh, Gabe, what's up with these brownies? It's like that. There's that challenge or that thing in that game that everyone plays where they ice people, where they find a smearing off ice and they have to pound it, kind of thing. It's like I'm opening up doors and there's a tray of brownies. I'm like, Gabe, dude, you can't be doing this to me every time.
And they're like
It's
singing
every
a
week.
heavenly tune to you.
It's every week.
They do.
Calm
Think of
to
it this
your
way.
soul.
So I've heard Rich Piana actually downs a little thing of Ben and Jerry's every single night before bed. And look at him, man. The guy's phenomenal shape. And I do brownies once every couple weeks, maybe once a week. I don't know, give or take a week.
Howard thinks about an Oreo and gains 5 pounds. So, I mean, I don't know. I can't relate at all.
This just goes back to when I was a kid, and I think we talked about this on another podcast where I would eat fast food 5 days a week and I never gained a pound. So I get away with having brownies. Everybody's body's different. Don't eat brownies every day or once a week. If you're doing my Genesis program, I swear to God, I will jump through the microphone and I will find you. Moving along, guys.
Speaking of binge eating, the reason that I do not binge eat is because of our Garcinia. And this is something that we formulated ourselves.
Is that even a real word?
Garcinia, oh jeez. Cambodia.
It's a cigar, right?
Garcinia.
I don't speak German.
That's
I'm
your
sorry.
go-to every time. I don't speak Priscilla. I don't speak German.
So,
And the reason it helps is because when he is having a refeed day and I'm not, I can take my Garcinia and I do not crave it. It suppresses my hunger. It suppresses my appetite. And it's a great way to stay in shape.
Oh, Family Guy reference.
Heck yeah.
wow, it's
You
better
better
than mine.
believe
I
it.
just take a whole bunch of sleep aid and go to sleep.
Well, let's talk about another very popular supplement right now, creatine. Creatine's been around for a long time.
Oh my God! And
hotly
creatine's
debated.
probably got like the worst rap at all supplements. I swear.
The myths that surround creatine are astounding, and the reason that I'm going in this order, guys, because I want you to get the best bang for your buck for stuff. And we talked about protein, so don't waste your money there. Have real food. Now, creatine is where you're going to get a bang for your buck, literally. But like Howard said, there's a ton of myths that have surrounded this. The negative side effects that go into it. Things like kidney failure and all this bloating that you get and all this other crap. It's all been debunked, and it doesn't take much. I mean, you can do a quick Google search on creatine side effects, and you'll just see a ton of debunking with actual peer-reviewed medical studies. There was one in 2003 by Dr. Creeder. He found that the long-term creatine use, which is over a 21-month period, did not pose any problems for football athletes who took 5 grams a day compared to their non-using counterparts. So basically, the athletes who took creatine experienced fewer episodes of cramping and muscle tightness, muscle pulls, dehydration, illnesses, and contact injuries. It sounds like creatine's a terrible supplement. It's just these guys are seeing all the benefits. They're reaping all the benefits, and none of there's no negative side effects.
Breaking it down to a very simple level, what is the main concept behind creatine? What does creatine do? It basically helps you retain water,
intercellular water,
not
interstitial. I can't even talk. Priscilla, you're rubbing off on me. Darn it.
So what I'm getting at is like these athletes were experiencing less cramping, less injuries because their muscles were more hydrated.
Yeah, and so
But did you know, on a side note, that Himalayan pink salt does the same exact thing? You can make a salt fillet and increase your intercellular water.
What?
Yeah, you take a tablespoon of Himalayan pink salt.
Okay.
You mix it with a nice spring water or distilled water. You put it into a glass jar so that it is not denatured or absorbed, and you're able to take it by the spoonful every single day.
Well, that's really interesting. I know that the creatine has...
It's not going to act like creatine because there's other elements to it.
But that's a really interesting side note for Himalayan pink salt. There's a lot of benefits for creatine that have been proven by research. They basically, I'm going to list off a couple of them right now. It increases muscle fiber size, increases muscle mass, increases maximal strength, maximal power, improves single effort sprint performance, improves recovery following endurance activity, has a neuroprotective function. We're going to talk about that in a minute. This is really interesting. Enhances bone regeneration and improves muscle and performance in vegetarians. This supplement is, like I said, shrouded in myths, especially, girls like, oh, I can't take creatine. Why? Because I'm going to bloat. No, you're not going to fucking bloat. That's a rumor that somebody started. I mean, there is a tiny bit of interstitial water that you get occasionally, depending on the quality of your creatine.
Right, and which brings like me to one of the most that we recommend if you are is a mono, meaning one hydrate, which is one molecule, water molecule that's attached to this creatine molecule, and going with a single or a monohydrate molecule, creatine, you're going to retain less water, and so people would get the illusion that you're getting bloated because you're retaining more water.
Well, I think with females, what they see too is that their actual intercellular muscle size is increasing. They freak out. It's like the goal is to gain muscle here.
Can it cause spillage if you take too much, though?
No. You know what? I actually don't have an answer for you on that.
That is what I would wonder about, because I've seen in higher dosages people will have digestive issues with it.
Now that's true, and there are different types of creatine that will combat that, like microionized creatine. Crealkaline will do that as well. There's several different types of creatine that will help with that.
So what is the benefit of taking, because I've always had the best results with crealkaline. Why is that better than a monohydrate?
So that's a pH buffered creatine. Crealkaline, and crealkaline is a patented type of creatine. That's a brand name. I'm sorry, it's not a brand name. It's a patented type of creatine made by All American EFX. It's pH buffered, basically to reduce the amount of bloat you get. And here's my thought on that. I've used creatine since, I did the first Body for Life transformation when I was 18. Was I 18 when I did that, babe? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was 18 when I did that. So this is 20 years later. I've been using creatine. I've switched back and forth between monohydrate, microionized creatine, and crealkaline. At my leanest, I've been 5% body fat, and I've hovered 4. I'm sorry, I was 4. That's right. I've been 4% body fat, but I usually hover between 6 and 7-ish. I can't tell a difference. No matter what creatine I'm using, I cannot tell a difference. I don't look any more bloated. I don't seem to retain any more or less water if I'm using pH balanced, pH buffered creatine like Crealkaline, a monohydrate, or a microionized creatine. I don't see it. I feel the effects on every single one of them. I feel stronger. I feel like I can push out 1 or 2 more extra reps. I feel fuller all day long, but like not full to my stomach, but full in the muscles. I kind of retain more of a pump, so to speak. I just feel like everything's kind of stretching a little farther, which is really what's happening because your muscles are being flooded with extra water. And the point of that, having more muscles in the cell, it's the optimal growth environment for the muscle fibers themselves. So it helps with glycogen stores. It helps with a ton of stuff. Answer your question, I never got any spillage. And I've been doing it for 20 years.
Dosage.
I take huge doses of creatine.
How much over the recommended dosage do you take? Is it double?
So the recommended dosage is anywhere between 2.5 and 5 grams of creatine pre or post workout. I take double that before and after. And here's the reason.
And you've never had digestive issues. You've never had spillage.
No, never. I mean, I get the protein farts like everybody else, but
well, you also are larger than the average person. I mean, now these dosages were based off of what the average male or the average person was 175 pounds.
Who knows?
Okay, well, you're 260 pounds
on a bad day. So all that to be said, and the reason that I do pre and post is that it's highly debated and nobody seems to know the right answer. There's been a ton of studies done. If you take creatine pre-workout, 30 to 40 minutes before, you get better benefits. Or if you take it after, you get better benefits. There's studies that support either way. So the way I look at it is like, okay, and here's why too. There was another study by Santos and colleagues that found that creatine supplementation of 20 grams per day over 5 days did not result in adverse side effects such as cramping, dehydration, or diarrhea. Instead, they found it to promote cell recovery at those dosages. So at extremely high dosages, 20 grams a day, there's no side effects. And so I'm going, okay, I can take 20 grams a day, no problem. And I've been doing that forever. Actually, up until the last couple months when I got off everything because of whatever the hell is going on with my heart or anxiety. I don't know what it is. It's a really weird thing. I can't quite figure it out.
I do want to ask one other question about creatine, because I've been on Zypos for 3 weeks and I see more of a pump throughout the day. I know it wasn't originally designed for females, but I'm freaking loving it. And I feel more vascular. I feel more full every single day. I have better energy and better performance. So what the heck? Like, why would I take them both? Or should I take them both?
Because they're 2 different supplements, Priscilla. I mean, you have one's a pump formula.
But I'm programmed to think that creatine. I think that creatine is going to bloat me, and I feel like the results on Zypos.
You're following the myth. See, this is
exactly. I can't get it out of my head.
The internet. This is what internet does, because you probably are going to tell us that creatine's also a steroid.
It's more like personal trainer gym gossip. You know, I've heard that bloats you. That bloats my client. That's bloating.
Brings you right back to every thread we've seen.
It's so bad. It's so hard to break free from it.
You guys are on the juice. You're taking steroids like creatine and protein powder.
Well, it's helpful, the studies that you showed me earlier, because now there's no reason for me to believe that it bloats me.
Well, and here's the answer to your question.
I didn't have that.
I probably used the wrong term when I said creatine gives me a pump, or I do feel fuller, but there's a different type of pump. So you feel like your muscles are fuller all day long. With Cyphos, that's an arginine. So for anybody that doesn't know, Cyphos is our pump formula that we created. Brian Cage and I and Howard and Priscilla sat down and we created basically Cyphos based on all of our research over the years. And it's 3 different types of arginine is what's in there. And we've found that these seem to work the best for us personally. So we bottled it and are presenting to you guys because it's fantastic. And what it does...
I had it when I was competing.
I know. It's a phenomenal...
Because it does give you a good pump.
It's a vasodilator. So basically it relaxes the smooth muscles around the veins. And think of it like this way. You have a hose in your backyard and then suddenly you increase the size of the hose. Well, what's going to happen? You're going to get more flow.
Well, your water pressure is going to drop.
Your water pressure is going to drop. So long story short, your heart will pump more blood to the muscle cells. So you're going to have a better pump. You guys that have never felt the pump before, I know there are guys out there that just haven't experienced that because they don't do high enough volume. When you feel that for the first time, you're like, oh, that's that burn that you guys feel when you're lifting, when you're going, oh, it hurts, I'm going to stop. Well, no, fuck no. You need to keep going, and you need to make it stronger, and you need to increase that pump. You need to
ladies, it works for you too, and it's not the bad kind of burn.
I don't even want to know. I don't even want
I
to know.
don't want to know about that
I
burn
wanna
either,
know.
Priscilla.
The bad kind of burn. But it's totally fine for females to take. We got to remember, as a female, you can only develop so much muscle mass naturally if you are totally natural. You're not ingesting any exogenous testosterone or anabolics. Ladies, you can work out as hard and as heavy as you want. The natural design in your DNA will only allow you to get so big. And so big, when I say so big, it's super sexy and fit is really what we're looking at here.
So if you do heavy squats, you're not going to develop a man face. That's not how it happens.
Right. And I don't care how many calf exercises you do, you're never going to get my calves. I'm just kidding.
Well, we don't even call them calves. We call them
calves.
cows.
They're definitely moves.
Just believe really hard, and maybe you can have his
Yeah.
calves. I don't know.
But again,
Calf
with
implants.
the Cyphos vasodilator, 3 different types of arginine. Arginine has a ton of benefits. We can kind of segue into that. Actually, that's a pretty good one. Not to purposely plug our own stuff, but guys, I'm going to talk about it. You can get arginine anywhere, but we are just going to recommend ours because we created it. We believe in it. That's our thing. Basically, it increases nitric oxide, which is a blood widening agent, and it's called a vasodilator. Long story short, I mean, there really isn't a whole lot to talk about with arginine. It just basically does what I just said. It's a vasodilator, gives you a better pump. You get more blood flow to the muscle cells. When you get more blood flow to muscle cells, what happens? You get more nutrients.
And
what happens?
when you get more nutrients?
Yeah, you have increased protein synthesis, and you get bigger, stronger, faster.
Exactly.
Sorry.
And my friends that are competing,
Sorry, Mike Bell. I just stole that.
you're going to want to take this before you jump on stage because you are going to look more pumped. You are going to look more vascular.
And it's way better than some of those older tricks like taking a Viagra. So this
You know,
will
I
not
actually
this will
did
not
that.
give you a boner on stage. Male competitors, it's
I actually
boner
tried
safe.
that one time. My doctor, I don't know what he was thinking, but he prescribed me a Viagra
I don't
so
know
that I
what
could take it
Viagra would
before I
do for you.
competed.
Well, it's a
it gives you pump.
vasodilator.
It's a vasodilator for anybody.
So you wouldn't have to worry about the negative side. But women, you can take
You-
Viagra all
Right,
day.
there was
So
nothing
wait,
to...
you're going to tell me when you take V's, you don't get like crazy dilated like everywhere?
No, you definitely do, but at the same time, I'm saying that for our competitors out there versus going the old,
Well, Priscilla was telling
Viagra
an
road.
anecdotal story about her experience with
And
Viagra.
it is
Well, you gotta be a Debbie
borderline
Downer.
dangerous.
Did you get a boner?
It's what? You said it's dangerous?
I don't... What would bone, dude? Like,
Did you have a lady boner?
even.
Answer the. Do not beat around the bush. Ha.
So
See what I did there?
So, well, you pop it right before your show, and you look more vascular. You actually...
that's a pretty well-known bodybuilding trick
I
for the
did-
insiders. Yeah.
I did win that show, and I don't know if that had anything to do with my pump, but I started seeing blue. It was so weird, and I started getting every single symptom. And so I was
Oh, no,
telling
that wasn't
Gabe,
the contest. That was a different time.
I was telling Gabe, I was like,
You sure that wasn't ecstasy?
okay, I've never taken any of those, so I don't even know.
So Priscilla's telling me about this. She's freaking out about all the side
So
effects.
I text him. I'm like, baby, I'm seeing blue. And he's like, oh, okay. I think maybe you're just nervous. I think you're okay. And then
She's like, I got
a
the
couple
chills.
minutes
I'm
later,
like, oh, that's okay. You're probably just nervous.
Meanwhile,
And
he's
she's
scrambling,
texting me
Googling
all these side
everything.
effects, and I'm googling them, right? And I'm looking through it, and I'm going, oh, dude, she has every single one of the side effects of
so the
Viagra.
next one I was seeing tracers. Like I was seeing somebody, and then with long lines behind them, and it was like one thing after another.
She had
Dizzy.
everything. We got down to the last side effect, and I'm looking at all the side effects. The only thing she didn't have yet.
Did your boner last longer than 4 hours?
What would bone?
The only thing she didn't have yet was diarrhea. And I'm just sitting
and he
there
didn't
going,
even tell me.
if she shits her pants on stage, I don't know what I'm going to do.
And thank God he didn't tell me. Thank God I didn't get any of the other symptoms. No prolonged boner, no diarrhea. I was okay. We were
Yeah.
talking a lot about diarrhea on the show.
But that's why I brought it's like a comedian thing. You circle back to the thing that you said earlier. It's an old
Okay, so that
comedy
was my
trick.
circle back. Did it on purpose.
Is that what they call it? A circle back? I don't know. But Howard,
Anyways.
remember when you did the Tahoe show and you qualified for nationals? That same show in your category. I don't know if he told you or not, but there was a dude
With a boner.
Just
And-
totally
that happens
obvious.
every show. Somebody always does that. Those shorts are tiny.
It's he obviously
Briefs
taken
or something.
Viagra and he had he was at full tilt, not like half tilt. The dude was at full tilt, pitching a tent in a board shorts. I'm like, bro. There's just a time when you throw in the towel and like you just go backstage and you just hang your hat
we're like,
hang your
this
hat,
is
no pun
not
intended,
the
but a
States. this is not the stage that's going to get you bonus points for a boner. Okay, you know, if you do feel like you need to go the Viagra route, guys, you can always do what I did and just tape your boner
You
down.
did tape it down. You taped it down. You son of a bitch.
You just, you know, and I recommend not using duct tape.
And just to put this out here, this is something that you can use in lieu of Viagra. And ladies, you will feel, how do I say this in a classy way? You will get the feels.
You will
have more feels more often.
a burning in your loins.
That burning. Not that kind of burn, Gabe.
You will feel a burning in your loins.
But it's good for females. It's good for males in that...
Yeah, no, it's
State of
definitely
need.
it's a libido enhancer for sure. I've noticed the side effects personally.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's like,
That was
guys,
so
take
awkward.
this
Yeah.
libido
And the way
booster.
you looked at me and looked away, I'm
all-
like,
Does she
I feel
want me to talk about this
filthy
on
right now.
national podcast?
Guys, take this vasodilator. You'll be a lot happier, and so will you, ladies. Ha.
Ribbed for her pleasure.
For her pleasure too.
Yep. What else we got to talk? Oh, well, you know, other one I want to talk about, guys, was our natural testosterone booster, which is T-Volve.
Right, and that's honestly, guys, other than the that other steroid they talk about, creatine.
Yeah.
Test boosters also fall under that category where illiterate people just
There's a lot of bullshit out there.
A lot of bullshit. And when we say test booster, guys, we're thinking of a testosterone booster. We're not talking about a prohormone, which
we should definitely talk about the difference.
which we're going to talk about
Yeah.
because prohormone being the steroid, test booster, which is a natural, you know,
Yeah.
boosting.
And again,
supplement.
guys, I don't want this to be a blatant plug for our product. So we're trying to structure this in a way that it's not. We're trying to educate you on this whole topic. But the products that we present they're good. I believe in them. I use them personally. Howard uses them. Brian Cage.
Testimonials will show also great feedback. I mean, of course, here and there we'll get a negative. You know, it's very like once in a blue moon, and it's usually someone. Oh, I didn't get the results that I was wanting. It's like,
But they
what
also-
results were you
Stop
expecting?
eating donuts!
No, I mean, this is the guy that's like, I don't know. I mean, I took your supplements, and the next day I didn't have 4 pounds of muscle. These supplements are trash.
And also, I had changed my diet. I stopped supersizing my McDonald's meal.
So, guys, I don't know. I'm following the keto diet, but I'm having a cheeseburger between every meal. I don't see why I'm not losing a whole bunch of weight.
50% of the time, I'm following the diet, so I should get about 50% of the results. Is what I'm thinking.
taking the supplements once a week. What's the deal?
Right, I'm not consistent with my supplements, and when I do take them, I take over the amount because I want extra benefits.
It's like birth control. You do not miss one. You
And
do
if
not
you
freaking miss
do,
one.
you
Oh
don't
my
take
God.
you don't take 3 and double up on it.
Right, and that's a
You
great
have to
point.
deal with your
Honestly,
mistake for 18 years.
Great point, and that's a great point for women out there that do take, birth control. Like, that's beaten into your head by your doctor and everyone else that you do not miss a pill, because if you miss a pill, you get pregnant. Like, that's the whole thing. And like,
It's
not,
like
it
you
doesn't
don't even
work.
need to have a sexual experience. You just get pregnant.
You just get pregnant. Like, all of a sudden, a stork comes and drops off a baby, and you have a child. That's,
Like, that's what you get. You missed
some
a
weird
pill.
thing like that.
But total sidebar, birth control is terrible for you.
I mean, a lot of people
It's
say it's
super carcinogenic, and there's
It
lots
is,
of
and
studies.
there's a lot of studies that show that, but at the same time, I mean, there's so many people that talk, and we're not going to go in that because that's a whole conversation.
You're just defending it because you're currently using it.
I'm currently using it. Really helps me regulate my bowel movements.
And I'm
What?
just- I'm
that's
just a
weird.
fighter.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
the
just kidding.
gnome.
I don't know anything
Priscilla's
about
like,
it.
don't talk about sex on the podcast.
I'm
Whatever you
trying
do, especially our
to
sex
impress
life.
you guys.
Don't ever say
Okay,
about the
but-
pull-out method.
Going along the lines. Going along the lines.
so
You know what, guys?
awkward.
Can we refocus here, please? I'm trying to describe something. here.
Prohormones
No,
versus
we're going
natural
to go back
testosterone.
on the missing the supplement. Like you said, you don't miss anything, and we just want to kind of throw that out there, guys. That when it comes to supplements, no matter what supplement you're taking, you need to take them as prescribed. And if they say daily, that means take them daily. Because yes, I made a joke about this, but it's something that you see often. People go on vacations, they go somewhere, and they forget to bring their supplements, and they go 4 or 5 days without their supplements.
Yep.
Well, that 4 or 5 days, you have to understand these supplements, your body wants to stay the same way it is. What these supplements do is it adds or increases your natural production or adds whatever that supplement's meant to do. So if you stop, what your body does is like, okay, I'm going to snap back to where I was. It goes back to the normal. So if you miss a supplement dosage, you're basically hitting the restart button on your progress or the whole purpose. So if you're 2-3 weeks into taking these supplements, you start to see progress, and you miss 3 days, guess what? Your body just snapped right back to where it was, and it's all the whole thing starts all over.
Well, and you don't see the results that you're hoping for.
Right.
And this is very similar to when you start and stop a diet of any type or nutrition plan. And people will do this. They'll try something for a week and they won't see any results. Or they'll see very minimal. They'll get pissed off. They'll cheat. They'll do whatever. They'll eat a hamburger, or they'll just go back to 3 days of doing their other diet. And they're okay, I'm going to try this again. And they try it again for 2 weeks. And they get off of it and they go back and forth the whole time. The reason that guys like Brian Cage, Priscilla, Howard, myself, and a lot of these other icons that you see, the reason they're in such phenomenal shape is because they have been doing this for years and years of consistent, strict eating. I mean, this is a religion. It's a fucking lifestyle. I mean, this isn't something that we just do for fun here and there. It is literally a lifestyle. You know, every meal is macroed out. You know the amount of protein, carbs, and fats in every single meal. You know your calories. You know that if you're going to sit down and eat, you have to have a little bit of everything in the right portions. And if you don't do that, eat like shit, you know it's going to affect you. Now, for guys like us that have been doing it 20 years, will one thing of brownies kill me? No. But if I hop on and off the wagon all the time, is it going to make a difference? Yes. And with supplements, it's the same fucking thing. If you take a couple of them here and there and then you fall off the wagon, you're not going to have steady bloodstream levels of that specific nutrient. When those bloodstream levels are elevated with whatever it is you're taking, whether it's arginine, whether it's creatine, whether it's increased levels of protein that are floating around in your bloodstream, when the bloodstream levels are increased, they're more bioavailable and your body's going to start using them. Specifically, as you put more load on the muscles and you do more exercise, you do more sets, you increase your volume, you basically do resistance training, your body's going to suck it up and use it for the purpose that it's intended. When you fall on and off the wagon, your body's like, well, where the fuck is that nutrient that was there yesterday? Well, fuck this. I'm not doing this. I'm not helping you out. That's literally what your body's saying.
Right.
Or at least that's the argument I have in my head every day.
So for those of you that have read my weight loss book, if you haven't, read it. It's powerful. But in that book, I talk about how to make the supplements a part of your day and make them available where they will be convenient to you. Have them by your nightstand. You know you want to see our faces first thing when you wake up in the morning on your supplement bottle. Pack them to go. Keep them in your desk at work.
I like to look at myself.
Gabe likes to look at himself. We also keep a mirror by his bed so he can look at himself some more as soon as he wakes up.
I stack like 10 bottles of T-Volve there, so when I roll over and pick up my phone and my alarm goes off, I'm like, oh, hey, beautiful, how are you?
And when he snores, I throw them at him. So he's got twice as many. So, and then think about your nighttime schedule too. Have some in the kitchen. Split them up. You can have them in separate bottles, but have them where you need them at all times so there is no excuse to miss your dosages.
Yeah, I have the main supplements that I use. I have them in my medicine cabinet. I have them by my bed, and I have them downstairs in the cabinet where we keep in our pantry, basically.
And more importantly, where's the last place? You have them in a pill organizer, so that when you go on vacation, like Vegas, which we were just in, I didn't miss one supplement dosage.
I'm so proud of you. That is a testament, and that's a testament of what you guys should all be doing. You should all take advantage. I mean, what does that supplement container cost? Like $2?
$2.
And you can get them anywhere. Walgreens, you can order them online. Go to Amazon.
Snap that. When you get home, I want to see your organizer.
I'll be honest, guys. I have a really fancy one that comes with my AMs and PMs for the week.
AM, PMs.
It was $3. High roller.
You
Big
were
Amazon spend.
That's why he was at the high roller tables. I walked by. We stayed at the Bellagio, and I walked by many times.
That's why I tried to get to the high roller table. It's like, they're up there. Mia's like on a roll, and I'm like, guys, but you should see my supplement organizer.
That's
and
the
they're
circle
like,
back.
no, not gonna work. And I tried pulling it out, smacked it out of my hands, dude. It's so rude.
Oh, in regards to T-Volve, by the way, ladies, probably not something you're going to want to take. I tried it for 4 days and ended up throwing a vacuum cleaner down the stairs.
Yes,
so you're going to have elevated testosterone.
And if you're wondering why I'm missing
a
a finger, that was one of the reasons she bit it off.
Well,
yes,
more importantly, I'm wondering about the supplement Scylla's talking about. We kind of tangent off on that.
Yeah, I'll get to that. I will get to that. I think we need to talk about the difference.
And I don't want ladies to tune out too early because it is something that some ladies are able to take.
Yeah, there's plenty of benefits for females with Tribulus, but let's talk about the difference in Prohormone versus a natural testosterone booster. So you guys will see Prohormones all over the internet. If you don't know what they are, basically they're anything that has a chemical formula in it. You'll see it. It'll be like, D-methyl, whatever, hydroxy, something, blah, 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 with a bunch of, Greek letters and shit in it. So when you look at the ingredients of stuff, you need to understand what you're taking. And if it's a chemical like that, it'll tell you. It'll say it's a prohormone. A lot of sites sell them. I used Prohormones for years, not knowing exactly what they were. When androstenedione first came out back in, I was in college. Pinnacle made these little things. They called them poppers. You chew 2 or 3 of them, you stick them under your tongue, you let them dissolve, and then you go do your workout. And what Androstenedione Dione does, it was a legit anabolic. But this is before the FDA caught up with the the Prohormone and banned it. So we would go have these bitchin' workouts, and I could literally notice a difference on the days when I took the poppers and when I didn't. It was just insane. My buddy, I had these two buddies, Rocky and Buck. They were twins, and we would lift, and we'd all pop these things. So I was like, well, dude, if, this is my mentality on everything. If 3 works, what'll 4 or 5 do? So I just always up with the dose. More is better with me. So, but Prohormones, guys. Why am I tongue tied today?
Prohormone is definitely a very complicated word to say.
It is super
I tongue
hard.
twist around that one all the
It's
time.
super hard. They are designer steroids. So they were created specifically to bypass the what is it, Schedule 3, I think is what it is. I can't remember. I know the shit in WWE because, like, I think I told this in another podcast, and I've talked about it in the Genesis program. We were drug tested once a month, and it was totally random. They had this big steroid thing that was going through the WWE, and one of the senators, the guy that basically came down on Barry Bonds with the Balco scandal for the clear. If you guys knew what that was, it was a designer steroid that Barry Bonds was taking, and he would piss in a drug test, and it wouldn't show up because there was no known metabolite for this specific steroid. The Prohormones were very, very similar, but this congressman came down on the WWE, and he was basically targeting them, saying, look, there's been so many deaths. There was the whole Benoit scandal where he, it was tragic. He killed his wife and kids and committed suicide, and they blamed it on steroids. When in reality, it's because he had so many fucking concussions, and they're doing research on that. But anyway, all that to say, they implemented what's called the wellness policy. And the wellness policy was basically you get 3 strikes, and you get drug tested randomly once a month. They would pull like 60 guys, 30 from each roster, Raw and SmackDown. And they would just, as you walk into the TV taping, the refs would just be like, hey, you piss, drop your bag right here. You're like, okay. You walk in, and there's like a guy there. We called him the pecker checker. Like, he would watch you pee. It was so weird because, like, it's just one thing to, like, hang on a locker room, take a shower like most dudes do. But, like, when you got a guy there in a very small bath, and the bathroom's, like, cleared out. There's nobody in there but whoever's taking the piss at that time. So he can sit there and look at your dick and make sure that you don't have, like, a fake dick on, or you're not dropping any powder or stuff. There's all sorts of tricks to get around it.
How far away would you say they'd be?
He's like, he can rub shoulders with you. He's looking at your cock the whole time, and it's really
Don't
not.
you get pee shy?
I do. I'm totally pee shy to this day. And if, like, you're around, I got to turn the water on if you're around, so I can piss. And I would ask the guy, I'm like, hey, dude, can you just please turn the water on? I gotta pee. And some guys would be like, no. I'm like, fuck. And so I just sit there for like 4 minutes waiting. And
sitting there shaking your wiener, dude.
Well, it starts, you feel the pee coming. It starts to hurt.
What do you
and you're
talk
like,
about, or what do you do when you're in that awkward moment when you can't
nothing.
pee and he's like
Nothing.
breathing over your...
He's so serious. It was so scary. It was just terrifying. I'm like, you're looking at my penis. Please stop. Please stop. Okay, I'm just going to piss. Anyway, all this to say, Prohormones were, for the most part, undetectable. And they were still available at GNC at this time. They were still, well, actually, GNC had started banning some of them. We were wising up to what they were. You can still buy them on the internet pretty much anywhere. And so we would just find ones that, it was crazy. Like, we would chance it, and so we had all sorts of books and stuff. And we're like, okay, this one will make us pop, this one will make us pop, and this one might. So somebody would take it and just kind of
because
basically,
they were legal.
They weren't illegal. So and so the way it works is that if the FDA hasn't banned that specific substance, that specific Prohormone, it's still legal. So people
And
sell them.
this is stuff you can buy at GNC. You guys,
Well, not anymore,
Not
but
anymore. Not anymore.
you could back
at the
then.
time.
Yeah. It was totally legal. There was nothing wrong with it. And now, obviously, the FDA is much smarter. But if you look around, there's
And
still
thank God, because
Prohormones.
that saved some lives.
Yeah, it really
Especially
did.
that wrestler, to remain nameless. He went into jaundice. He got jaundice.
Yeah.
And his liver started to fail. Too many of these Imdrol
It was called Emdrol, and it was basically a Superdrol clone. And Superdrol was
Those were the main
as
3.
strong as Anadrol. It was somewhere in between D-bol and Anadrol, but it kept you like very, very lean. You didn't get the bloat you would get with using Anadrol. It was just super lean. It was an incredible Prohormone. Superdrol was around when we all could buy it at GNC. Literally, I mean, you could buy Superdrol anywhere.
But apparently, you can overdose.
Well, no, what it was is...
he was continuing to
here's
drink
the danger
alcohol.
in using prohormones is that they're methylated. So they're C17 alkylated is what it is. And they put this coating on these pills so that they pass through your liver. So your liver cannot fully digest them, and the entire substance goes, not the entire,
Which is
but
why it works.
a high percentage of the substance goes into your bloodstream, and it's basically protected from the liver. Your liver doesn't like that. It hates it, and
It's
it
like,
damages your
homie.
liver. And so when guys are running legitimate steroid cycles, they'll only do so many weeks of orals because of this. So the orals are usually used as a bridge, and they will only do so many weeks of this stuff because it damages your liver. And this specific person, who I'm definitely not going to mention, but he
Continued to drink
didn't change his
alcohol.
lifestyle because he didn't know. I mean,
Which you
you could get
didn't-
this shit
nobody
anywhere.
knew.
Nobody knew. He just like, oh, cool. I hear this stuff works. Helps you put muscle on. I'm going to try it. Well, he was taking the normal. It says take 2 of these. Twice a day, whatever. So he did it. But he liked to go out and party with the boys. So he'd go drink, and he wouldn't drink a ton of water because we would train like fucking 5 hours a day. And we were in Florida.
With no air conditioner.
No air conditioning. We had 3 rings in this fucking warehouse, and it was hot as balls in there. It was like 100%, well, not 100% humidity. It was like 98% humidity and like 102 degrees. So in the
It was
warehouse,
painful.
like we had to stop practice a couple days because the mats were so wet with sweat from the guys practicing that you couldn't stand. You'd slip if you'd run it. And like, I remember one time we were running a drill. And one of the drills was to slide. Like the guy would jump over and you slide. I remember sliding and just sweat. Like it was like water just spraying up everywhere. It was so disgusting. We had to call
He would
practice.
come home, we'd wring out his clothes.
Yeah, it was foul. But you guys get the idea that we're losing a ton of water while you're doing that. Your body's just excreting so much sweat, you're losing water. Well, this person ended up basically skin started turning yellow. His eyes started turning yellow. He had jaundice. And so he was literally knocking on death's door. He's in the hospital for a week. They thought his liver was completely
Was
failing.
it only a week? He was there for a while. That was terrifying.
I think he was hospitalized for a week, and then it was a slow recovery because he didn't wrestle for I think a month or 2 at least.
That
after
means
that.
family doesn't eat, by the way, guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of there's all sorts of bad things that happen. So these are risks that we were taking, we weren't fully aware of. Although at a certain point we're like, okay, this is what you have to do to keep on size because it's weird in that industry. Like there's this thing. You look now in wrestling, like the guys aren't as big as they used to be because of this wellness policy. But in our heads, we're like, we have to be big. We have to be big. We have to be big.
Which is awesome because this is how we found these answers, and that's why we
Yes.
are raving about them because
Yes.
this is what we wish that we would have known when we were in a situation like that.
Yeah. They are
Like, don't be on
legitimate.
steroids, but look like you're on
They
steroids.
are
or
legitimate
else you're
anabolic
fired.
steroids. So prohormones are legitimate designer anabolic steroids where the metabolites, basically you piss them out. They're usually non-detectable. A lot of times you'll get what are called false positives. So some of them you'll pop for very similar metabolites. So if you guys are thinking about doing this, be careful because you don't know what metabolite you're going to piss out, and you might have to check the derivative away. They say they add a carbon molecule here and there, and they use the same formulas over and over and over again. So
But
that's
protect
what
your
a-
health. Be smart. For crying out loud, we love you, jerks.
that's what a prohormone is. I still can't say this, Howie.
Prohormone.
Whore.
Whore.
Oh, we're gonna circle back around to that again. Isn't that how we started?
But
Hormone.
again, at the end of the day, guys, I just want to be the one that gives you the most clear explanation of this for all those people that still don't get it, because there is a lot of questions we get when it comes to Test Booster, which we have as one of our supplements. And what we're talking about here is that, again, a prohormone, Gabe, prohormone is, think of it this way. You have testosterone. A prohormone is going to add a replicate testosterone hormone.
Derivative of it, usually.
Derivative.
Yeah, some sort of derivative of testosterone
We're going
is
to break
what-
it down super simple. So your body produces one testosterone hormone. What the prohormone or anabolic does is it clones that and adds another one, which is why a lot of people on anabolics and whatnot grow so big and they get to this abnormal size, because they're not increasing the production of their testosterone.
No.
They're adding biological
exogenous, what we call it.
Exogenous. So you're
an
adding
extra supply.
testosterone. Whereas a test booster enhances the natural production of testosterone. So our product or any other product out there that's a test booster, what that's doing is it's increasing or helping aid the rate at what your body can already do, which is produce that. It's not adding to your body.
So test boosters that are all natural, like our T-Vol product, they have they're basically herbs that have been shown to increase your natural production. And one of the main ingredients in our testosterone booster, and actually any test booster that is not a pro-hormone. Hey, I said it. A pro-hormone.
You were just thinking about horse.
I'm just thinking about horse. I just got back from Vegas. Of course I'm going to be thinking about.
Right.
Wait. Oh,
Natural.
hey, Priscilla, how you doing?
Yeah, too far. Anyway,
so with all that to be said, they're going to be natural, and they're not going to, like Howard said, they're not going to add exogenous testosterone to your bloodstream. What they're going to do is they're going to help you get in the high medically acceptable range. So there is a range of testosterone that's acceptable in the medical field. I don't have the numbers handy. I don't know what it's like. They measure in micro something per liter or something like that. It's like it's the Greek letter mu per liter of basically it's a way to measure it. And I think the high is like 1,200 of these and the low is 200. And I feel really stupid for not having that information handy. I should have recapped on that before I started the podcast.
We all have our days, Gabe.
Actually, you've got your phone there. Since you're not actually looking up anything important, I can see that you're just surfing Instagram right now.
Yeah, there was a great video.
Why don't you look up the measurement for testosterone units?
And because it is elevating your natural testosterone, enhancing your natural testosterone,
Yeah.
it is safe. Did I say that properly?
Yeah.
It is safe
Totally.
for a woman to take it. It's just up to, are you the kind of woman that is going to get overwhelmed by additional testosterone production?
Yeah, and
Higher
it's not
levels
going
of
to force you
testosterone?
out of your natural level either.
Exactly. But if you tend to get moody around that time of the month, hey, skip it.
Yeah. What you got, Howie?
Well, I don't know how to pronounce the second word because my vocabulary isn't as great, but it's
You can count the yellow.
NG/DL, which is nanograms
Per deciliters.
Deciliter.
Yeah, there you go.
Deciliter. Is that deciliter?
Huh? A deciliter. Decaliter.
Decaliter?
Yep.
See, that's weird because it's DECI. So how do you get
deciliter.
Deciliter.
That would make more sense because a deciliter is huge. I'm like, that's fucking massive. So deci is it's 0.1, and deca would be large, very large.
And as you can tell, my French is a little rusty. So
The only reason I know this guy is because I do have a civil engineering degree and I did a lot of math. But all this to say, one of the main ingredients that you're going to find in any natural testosterone booster is Tribulus terrestris. And this is an herb. It's basically a plant. And it's shown in research to boost your LH levels, which are your luteinizing hormone levels. And the luteinizing hormone is what sends a signal to the pituitary gland that tells your nuts to produce more testosterone. So it sends this neurological signal to the testes and says, hey, testy 1, testy 2, start pumping out more test. That's basically what it does in a nutshell. And there's a I made a pun. I didn't even mean to.
or in the fitness world, it's basically saying like, hey, testes, here's a little pre-workout.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's exactly. Here's a little something to prime the pump.
This is something we didn't research. How does it work from a woman's standpoint?
You know, I have done the research previously. I don't have any of it with me because I hadn't planned on plugging females. But you bring up an excellent point
I
because
just
it
didn't
does
realize
work.
it was from the testes.
And here's what ladies, I would encourage you to do a little research on Tribulus terrestris because it has health benefits for females. And I don't recall exactly what they are, but when we were developing the product, I had to
It is
go.
supposed to be mood balancing for PMS.
There you go. See, there's one of them right there.
There's one of them. And increased leanness, increased lean muscle mass,
Yeah. So
a number of things. But if you're throwing vacuum cleaners down the stairs, that's how you know to stop.
Yeah, if you're short of vacuum cleaners because you have launched them off the roof of your house, or if you've thrown them out windows, or if you take a small baby and you throw it out the window, that's probably a bad thing. You might want to stop taking Tribulus.
Probably a good indicator.
Yeah, more than likely. So it kind of reminded me of the conversation. Remember when Jomo and Cage were in the car?
Oh my gosh.
We picked up.
Oh my gosh.
There's a BTS 84 episode, guys. If anybody doesn't know what that is, that's behind the scenes for 84 Days with Body Spartan. And we did this when I was when I was running the Unleashed program to show you guys the results I was going to get with it. I was 84 days of that, but we've extended it far past that. But there's a BTS 84 episode where we pick up Brian Cage and John Morrison from the airport because we're going to go do a workout at World Gym in San Francisco. John Morrison wrestled with me I wrestled with him in the WWE. He was a huge star. Went on to be in Lucha Underground. He's also been in a couple movies. He directed one. It was Boone the Bounty Hunter that just came out pretty recently. But we picked him up at the airport and we're riding. And I don't know how it happened. We got on this conversation about like the best source of protein, and somehow it was just like this totally off beaten path. It was like a joke about a baby and like because somebody said, "Okay, what do you eat? Like small babies?" And then Gabe got onto like, oh well, you know, babies they're super high in protein and this and that.
I mean,
like,
he was given macros and
I mean,
everything.
we were talking about literally macros about eating babies.
and newborn versus preemies.
It was so bad.
I'm like, oh my goodness, please stop eating.
I actually had to think about,
humans.
can I actually publish this? Am I going to just eat
I
shit
think
from
maybe
moms and
that
scientists
might be-
everywhere?
Well, I'm a mom, and I'm like,
You were
nobody's gonna
totally
really
in on it.
eat my baby.
You were totally in on it.
Nobody's gonna eat a baby.
Anyway, back to the Tribulus guys. People. The first thing you're going to do when you Google this, you'll see like on WebMD where it's like no medical studies have been done showing this increases testosterone. Well, guess what? Fuck that, because there are studies that have been done, and here is one. It was done in 2009, and it was called The Influence of Tribulus terrestris Extract on the Parameters of the Functional Preparedness and Athletes, I can't even say it, Organism Homeostase. Long story short, I'm giving you that in case you want to look it up and actually read the study, because it is available. It was done in 2009. In the end, it said, the summary at the end, after the abstract, after all the details, I went through and read the whole thing when we were creating T-Volve. The research carries out that there is a noticeable increase of blood testosterone of examined individuals while using the food supplement with Tribulus terrestris. Using food supplement with Tribulus terrestris. So basically, if you're eating correctly, if you're eating to grow, and you use Tribulus, there is a noticeable increase of your testosterone levels. And there's more out there, guys. All you got to do is do a little research. These are legitimate published studies on this stuff. So you got to dig. You know, you can't just see the first Google result is not necessarily always the right one. What do you want to say, Howie? I saw you leaning towards the mic.
You know, I'm just over here just doing a lot of reading, obviously, because we didn't come too much prepared
Are you a
on
reader?
Priscilla's question about how testosterone booster affects women. And, almost everything reading here is obviously there's studies that go across for years and whatnot. Yep. But for the most part, it says that, while testosterone levels in females may influence psychological adaptations in resistance training, it does not change the rate that they gain strength or size. So it absolutely does nothing from these studies.
I did feel strength increases when I was on it. And boy, did I launch that vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, you definitely got moody, but you have to remember, too, there are other ingredients in T-Volve aside from Tribulus, and I think that has a lot to do with it. Because the purpose of the LH hormone is to regulate how much testosterone you produce. So, LH is the precursor to testosterone. And so since you don't have testes, your pituitary gland isn't going to say, hey, produce more. So there are other things that are mood altering in there. And so, the next one, it's basically what we call long jack. And it has been shown, and in several studies to do lots, it actually does not increase testosterone levels, but we threw it in there because it definitely has other benefits. This one is a study from 2014, effects of proprietary freeze-dried water extract, long jack, so on and so forth. Just so you guys know, the medical research facilities were in Northridge, California. The other one was Northridge Hospital. And there was a third one here. Actually, in Malaysia was a third one. I think that's where they probably did some of the testing. But basically, it said it was shown to increase sexual performance and administered at a dose of 300 milligrams over 12 weeks. And I had to actually, this is interesting. When you go to get a merchant account for business, when you go to get a merchant account to run stuff through e-commerce, you have to be PCI compliant. And I say this, guys, because I know a lot of you listen to us for business advice too, so you have to be PCI compliant. When you're starting to post supplement information on there, the regulatory agencies go, okay, you need to prove that this shit works. So we had to make sure that we had the proper medical studies before we could just go sell stuff, because most merchant accounts will not allow you to sell nutritional supplements if you cannot back up the claims, which is really good. And that leads me to wonder, how the fuck do some people get away with selling shit on the internet that is just crap, that don't have any published medical studies to back them up? So we had to go find all this shit. And make sure that what we put in there legitimately worked. And so this is one of the studies we used to prove that it actually increases your libido, because that's one of the things that testosterone does. Natural testosterone and exogenous testosterone will boost your sex drive. So T-Volve, we have a little something in there to help you out. The other one, though, gamma oryzanol. This is this is actually kind of a debated supplement, so to speak, but there's plenty of data to back it up. Specifically, this another 2014 study, effects of gamma oryzanol supplementation on anthropometric measurements and muscular strength in the healthy males following chronic resistance training. So they put a bunch of guys together, gave them placebo, gave them gamma oryzanol, and they put them through resistance training. And the findings basically indicated that gamma oryzanol supplementation during the 9-week resistance training did not change anthropometric and body measurements. So you didn't actually get bigger, and you didn't actually gain more muscle mass, but it increased muscular strength in healthy young males. That is huge, because strength is a precursor to gaining muscle mass. Now, if you're boosting your natural testosterone using tribulus and you're using gamma oryzanol at the same time to boost your strength, the overall effect is going to be what? Bigger, stronger, faster.
Oh, my gains.
I love that reference. I know that was. If you guys haven't seen Bigger, Stronger, Faster, you need to go see that, man. Mike Bell did that. Or no, I'm sorry. I say Mike Bell. Mark Bell. Sorry, Mark did that. He filmed that. It was a fantastic documentary on basically steroids and the pharmaceutical industry. It's really good. Go watch it. It was very, very well done. He just did another one too on the pharmaceutical, specifically on pharmaceuticals, because his brother, God rest his soul, overdosed on pharmaceuticals. He was a wrestler. Went through the whole thing. There was I can't remember what it was called. It was great. I'm going to look it up.
Bigger, Faster, Stronger?
Well, that was the first one that I mentioned, but what was the other one by Mark Bell? It was a recent one.
Was it the one about pills and?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the one. Anyway, guys, we'll put that in a link for you so you can find it. It's a fantastic documentary. Just more information for you guys to watch. Howie, what are we leaving them with today, man? What do you got?
What we're leaving them with, guys, is, supplement intaking. You can just know what you're taking and, know a little bit about that, what's in your supplements, and know that there's a lot out there, and you got to find the ones that work best for you, and you got to stay consistent. If you are going to take supplements, and here's the thing, we always suggest, and at the end of the day, if you read our programs, all our supplements are recommendations. They're never needed to get anywhere or to get the results. Are you going to get them faster? Sure, you're going to get them a little bit faster, but they're not needed. And what we're saying is that we want you to get most of your nutrition and the most of these hormones or these things that you get from these supplements from real foods. At the end of the day.
Yes.
So nothing beats real food. A lot of these things that come in supplements come in real food. The reason supplements were invented is because you would have to eat a lot of food to get the proper amount of the dietary needs.
Yep.
So
you're right on, dude. You're right on. You don't have to be successful in a fitness program. You do not have to have supplements. However, if you take the right ones in the right quantities, you use the right nutrition, you get the right amount of sleep, you do your cardio, you're going to get better results with supplements.
Right.
And if they're going to
be
be
consistent.
Are they going to be super exponential like you're taking steroids? No, you're not going to fucking see that kind of results, but you will see noticeable results. And if you guys buy the Genesis program, the Unleashed program, you're going to hear me talk about that. And I'm going to say you don't need them, but I'm going to push them really hard because they've worked for me over the years. And I give you guys my secrets, just like Howie's going to give you his. Priscilla's giving you hers. I give you the inside secrets to what has worked for me over the years. And I started when I was 14. I'm 38. So do the math. 24 years of, slamming iron around, trying supplements, starting when I was 18 years old. So, to literally 20 years of supplementation and trying everything on the fucking market. Like, I know what works and what doesn't. And I back our products 100%. And I'm telling you, even I back products that we don't sell, like creatine. I'm telling you guys, this is the creatine that you want to take. You want to take monohydrate. In my personal opinion, it doesn't make a difference. They work. And they're going to help, especially for all you natty guys out there. If you want to get gains, try what we're fucking talking about. And then before we wrap up, I'm going to go so off topic here because I like to throw some shit out there. What do you guys think about the flat earth theory? Have you heard about that?
Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, we're way off topic. And for those of you guys that are here for the fitness part of it, just go ahead and sign off right now because I'm just taking this a whole nother level. What the fuck is up with flat
theory
earth?
that's going all over the internet saying that the world is flat and that the edge of the water with the edge of the water is filled with ice mountains or whatnot, and then after that you fall off the face of the earth. I do not believe that whatsoever. I believe the world is round.
Yeah.
And so is every other planet.
Well, there's a lot of really fucking weird shit going on right now with the flat earth theory. It's just showing up on Facebook everywhere, and it's just like, okay, so if you fly a plane around the world, you start in California, end in California, that would probably tell you that the Earth is round. And anyway, we're just gonna leave you on that subject. If you guys want something really cool to look up the fucking flat Earth theory.
You know, and that's a
It's a
great
good
thing.
laugh.
That is our topic. We should end every show. I like
Talk
that,
about the
dude.
flat Earth theory.
You know what, dude? Today's guys, we're ending it with the flat ass theory.
Flat ass theory.
Oh, what?
What?
No, flat Earth theory.
Do your
Theory.
squats. All right,
Do your
guys, that
squats.
is it for the Body Spartan podcast. We will see you next week. Gabe Tuft, founder of Body Spartan, signing off.
And your favorite ginger joining him.
Priscilla, take your supplements, look in the mirror, and be proud of who you are.
Oh, yes.
Priscilla.
For more free information on fitness, nutrition, and bodybuilding, visit us at www.bodyspartan.com.
Indestructible, undeniable. I'm a man with a plan, understand.